91.3 WVKR Independent Radio, Poughkeepsie, New York. We've got him. Let's get him on the line. John, are you with me?
I am with you.
Oh, I love it. Thank you. I've played like 7 tracks of your music, and it's like from all gamuts of your career, and it's been wonderful listening to it. So I will just start off by doing a brief introduction, but I'm guessing I don't even need to do that. But let me just start off by saying,
Sure.
multi-instrumentalist, singer, and songwriter John Sebastian is co-founder of the legendary group The Lovin' Spoonful, who had huge hit songs from 1965 to 69, including Daydream, Do You Believe in Magic, Summer in the City, just to name a few. He performed an impromptu solo set at the Woodstock concert in 1969 and can be seen in the film noting this historic event. John's hit song, Welcome Back, became the theme for the 1970s sitcom Welcome Back, Kotter. John was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Songwriters Hall of Fame. His signature auto harp was on display at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City. It's truly an honor to host you today, and I extend a warm welcome back, no pun intended, to you, John Sebastian. Thank you.
Thank you, Rita.
Yeah, of course. I wanted to also quickly say a happy belated birthday. I know you celebrated on St. Patrick's Day.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. You had a good birthday, I hope.
I did. I think I was over the Atlantic right then, coming back from Italy.
Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, my gosh, lovely, lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a great country. I'm going there next month, so I'm looking forward to it, too.
Yeah.
So before I get started, I mean, we really need like hours and hours to go through everything, so I'm not going to get through everything because we've got about 25 minutes. But I just want to tell you, I posted on the social media, I know you don't have anything to do with that stuff, but that you were my guest. John, you are so loved. There are so many people leaving extraordinary memories that they've had with you or have shared with you. And I just want to tell you what a wonderful, like how loved you are. But you already know that. But I'm just telling you.
That's wonderful to hear, though.
Yeah. No, you're a mensch and you're a really good guy. And some of the memories were really heartwarming. So it's just really wonderful. So I just wanted to let you know that before I start talking about your career, or you start talking about your career.
Thank you.
Yeah. Where does one begin with this incredible timeline of a life that you've led and are leading? Of course, we know, and I'm not going to talk about Woodstock because I think you've asked, that's been 100 questions.
That, Rita.
Yeah.
I do.
I bet.
No, how about if we start backwards?
Yes.
Let's start with the most recent thing I've done, which has essentially been dumped by a record company.
What?
And, the album that Arlen Roth and I made for BMG, all of a sudden BMG disappeared, and there's all kinds of things that are wrong, but one of them is that CD or album is not available, except, I guess, online where you can't see anything.
Wow. Well, that's
so. Anyway,
yeah. I played a couple of tracks from that, so we at least
heard.
Yeah. Oh, good. Good. Yeah. What?
I know. It's kind of like, fellas,
yeah.
I'm 80. You're thinking I'm going to come up with a few more of these for you?
Yeah, I
don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah, geez, man, John, that's like, who are these people? Let's get on the line and just set them straight.
I did think that it was one of the best records that I've been able to make, and Arlen Roth was such a great factor in making that record.
Yeah.
John and Arlen explore the Spoonful songbook.
And you have such, like his daughter, Lexi Roth, did vocals on a track, and then you had the Mona Lisa twins and just these great accompaniments.
Well, speaking of Lexi, I have to say that I thought that Lexi's... Okay, let me start from the beginning. We were going to Didn't Want to Have to Do It. And we decided, okay, well, we could do a thing where we put multiple harmonicas that answer each other. And so I dutifully went through that and did it, got it all finished. And then Lexi said to her dad, I want a shot at this. I love this song. And so she got the tape and did a version. When I heard what she did, I erased all the stuff I had done because her vocal and vocals were so good. And I think it's really one of the top things on the album.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing that. I always think it's like the hardest thing for artists such as yourself. When I ask them, send me 4 or 5 tracks of music. I mean, your discography is ridiculous. So you pick these 2 songs, and I played them first, and it was really special that you picked those out.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I also played your harmonica virtuoso. I did a little track from that. That was pretty cool.
I don't know quite what you mean.
No? Oh my gosh, did I get something? Maybe I got it wrong. It was 3 Scenes from the South, Alley Tunes. I may have messed that up then. I don't know. But anyway, I got...
So you're dealing with 2 John Sebastians.
Oh, and
you're
both
dealing
are...
with my father, who is and was a classical virtuoso and a remarkable human being in his own right. And I don't know.
Maybe that was it. That might
I've
have.
never made a harmonica album.
Okay, then that was your dad. Well, anyway, we heard some of your dad in there too. It was only a minute and 46 seconds, but it was pretty cool. And just yeah, we saw the Woodstock thing. I saw you live at Tanglewood too. I played that, the Darlin' Be Home Soon. That's beautiful. And that, all your songs have been covered by so many people over the years. It's ridiculous. You know what was really cool? Speaking about local and keeping it right here in the Hudson Valley, you've been having some fun when they were doing those Honky Tonk Wednesdays.
That's right. I'm going to do one Friday, too.
Yeah. And where's that going to be? At the VFW?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Friday at the VFW in Kingston.
Cash Dollar and Connor Kennedy and a great group.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, that was so great seeing you and just up there enjoying the heck out of yourself, and a lot of fun. I've also saw you at the Maverick Concert Hall with your buddy Happy Traum. Always a wonderful show as well.
Absolutely.
John, you grew up where most people wanted to go for music. You didn't have to get too far out of your house in Greenwich Village.
Six blocks, and I'm at the Gaslight Cafe.
Amazing.
8 blocks, and I'm at Gertie's Folk City. It goes on like that.
Yeah, it does. And some of the people in your life, like what? Ethel Mertz from Vivian Vance, and was Eleanor Roosevelt your neighbor?
Well, actually, I think she was moving out as we were moving in.
Mm-hmm.
She was in 15A, and we were moving into 15B.
Wow. Amazing. And then, of course, the Beatles had such a big effect on everybody that most musicians I've talked to from your era, it was, they all remember where they were in February of 1964 when they were on the Ed Sullivan Show. You have a particularly interesting story. If you would share that with us, please.
I'm not quite sure. Oh, you're talking about, okay.
Yes.
So Cass Elliot called me the day before that show and said, look, you got to come over to my apartment. The Beatles are going to be on the Ed Sullivan Show, and Ringo's going to be here, and it's going to be great fun. And I'm going, Ringo's going to be here? I don't say it out loud, but I'm thinking, if anybody could pull this off, it would be Cass. So I'm not going to ask questions. I'm just going to show up. So I show up, and at the door is a very much taller and much more Jewish-looking Ringo, because Zalman did in that period have, longer hair than most guys, that were trying to grow their hair. And he and I sat down with Cass. Show came on. We both got our guitars because we're never without them. And we start fooling around and making jokes about, hey, that's just Travis picking, what? And so we were enjoying the fact that they had obviously been listening to American music, and I think that was sort of a point of departure for us to say, we could skip the middleman. We could have a band that wasn't the English guys.
Right.
So that was sort of the core of that idea.
And that's how the Lovin' Spoonful kind of got together. I can't believe that you were turned down by every record company in New York City.
Well, we didn't sound enough like the Philadelphia guys. It was just, that's what time it was. It was still, and by the way, I like Fabian Forte, don't get me wrong, but that whole world was really at the forefront, and it was very hard for Brill building folks to imagine that something that was so, I don't know, it was just rooted in different styles, I guess.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. And then you finally got picked up, and then you charted all these hits, and oh my gosh, amazing. I was listening when I was doing my homework on you, an old interview that you gave that where you came up with some of the songs, like Daydream. You came up with that because your tour bus broke down?
I guess that it had an element to it, yeah.
Yeah.
Really, Daydream was the Spoonful reacting to the band that they were opening for across the country, which was the Supremes.
Oh, wow.
And there were occasional weekends where James Jamerson and Benny Benjamin were on that tour. And those, by the way, for folks that don't immediately know those names, that's the bass player and the drummer that is the most famous for making all of those, you name it, Impressions, Four Tops, all of those Supremes records. You hear that rolling fill in the beginning of so many records, and it's Benny Benjamin.
Right. Wow.
And so we had this opportunity to hear those guys, and one of the things that tickled me was that I noticed that Jamerson was always what we call coming off of the 5 to the 1, not starting on the 1. And that made me go ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. What could I come with that?
Right.
And Yanofsky had said, man, you got to get some new shit because it's all too, you're all dated now. You got to come up with new stuff.
Wow.
And so that was one of the reasons that song got going.
And your first hit, Do You Believe in Magic, is that like when you guys were playing and you saw some people dancing or something in the audience? What made you write that first song?
Yeah, exactly that.
Wow. Wow.
You know, the place we were playing was primarily a folk club that had become a bit of a poetry and kind of beatniky spoken word situation.
Mm-hmm.
And we were trying to attract an entirely other audience, and we're failing until we looked one night and there was a girl dancing in the corner that looked like the right kind of dancing.
Uh-huh. Yeah. The kind of dancing you wanted to have to your music.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And is it true also that you guys, the Lovin' Spoonful, you played in your records, like your labels did not use like the Wrecking Crew or anything like that. It was actually you guys playing those records.
Every bit.
Yep,
Every bit.
yep, yep, yep.
Yeah, when in later days there were a few movie soundtracks where we did have orchestral stuff, so we did have some marvelous cats in the orchestra. My God, Fathead Newman and
Wow,
oh Jesus, the people we had just playing routine sessions for that was amazing.
wow, wow. Yeah, so great. So, when do you remember your first song? Like even before Spoonful, like when did you like sit down and start writing?
Oh, I think it was probably trying to come up with something in prep school where there was a songster in, I guess it was in a Shakespearean play that that there was a sort of a blank space, and I sort of made up a song to fill the space,
Mm.
and wasn't memorable, but I guess it does qualify
Yeah,
as one of the first.
one of the
Uh,
first.
as far as stuff that actually went anywhere, I think didn't want to have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
The one that Lexi did was really the first time that I was, really trying to write a good 3-minute song.
Right, right. Wow. You have so many songs. Do you have favorites of your own music that you really just like, hey, that one I still love that as much as I first did?
Well, that's it's, I guess it's sort of strange if it comes through you. It's harder to evaluate.
Mm.
I was very lucky that these tunes were passing me, and I was able to grab a few of them.
Yeah, yeah.
But as far as I really enjoyed doing "Face of Appalachia"
Mm-hmm.
with Lowell George,
Mm-hmm.
who that was a conversation that started with him playing a heavily compressed acoustic guitar into a tape recorder and sending it to me. And I called him and I said, "Hey, this is wonderful. This sounds like, I don't know, like the face of Appalachia or something." And he goes, "That's good. That's good. Write that. Write that." And so, well, it took me months to write that.
Wow.
And
Wow.
luckily I could get it out.
You are also good friends and performed a lot with another band that we all know in the Hudson Valley, NRBQ.
What a wonderful set of guys. I talked to Terry Adams yesterday.
Oh.
And yeah, there's nothing like that band. And even when, even as Terry Adams reconfigures that band as time goes on, wonderful drummer Tom Ardolino passed away.
Yes, yes.
And Joey Spampanato is more or less retired from road work and such. But Terry has been able to realign the band, and it still sounds like NRBQ.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God, such a fun band, and so, oh my God, another band that you just can't sit still to. Just so much fun.
Absolutely.
Absolutely great career. You've worked with so many people, and so many people have covered your music as well. You also had some work with CSNNY, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Going to go see Stephen tomorrow.
No way!
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm getting on the plane to go see him, and
Oh.
folks want me to interview him. So.
Oh man, that's great. That's great. You've also had some PBS shows. I mean, you're very active all the time. You've done so much, and talk to me about that. Like some of the great shows that you've hosted on PBS.
I guess you're talking about a sort of what they call it, a folk rewind.
Yes, the folk
Well,
rewind.
I teased them a lot because I said, black folks were doing a lot of wonderful stuff during this same period because it was all white guys with matching collared shirts. That version of the folk rewind. So I make fun of it, but I also have to say it's probably the biggest piece of publicity that I have.
Yeah.
Because they just keep playing that ad.
Yeah.
Over the years, I've had guys call me in the middle of the night and go, "Hey, I'm in Indianapolis. What are you doing on my television?"
Oh, that's great. That's great. Man, oh, man. You know who else I think you knew very well, who lived right by our station here in Poughkeepsie? Eddie Deal.
Oh, what a wonderful man.
Yeah.
I enjoyed my time with him. I already miss him. And yesterday, somebody sent me a birthday card, but the birthday card's picture was Eddie Deal's workbench.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And Eddie's work, among other things, rehabbed a J200 Gibson that belonged to Reverend Gary Davis. As well as the regular stuff. And that's now in the Museum of Musical Instruments in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's really cool. You can tell your influences early on, Mississippi John Hurt and all the jug band stuff. Tell me how you got into that, John, before we have to hang up already very shortly. But
Well, it was a pretty straightforward thing. I was coming back home to New York from being a camp counselor in Keene, New Hampshire, and my mom is holding the phone as I open the door and says, "It's Stephan," because Stephan and I would talk all the time, and that's Stephan Grossman.
wow.
And Stephan Grossman said, "Look, you got to come down to this spot on 14th Street, and we are assembling a jug band." And I said, "What's a jug band?" And he said, "Don't worry. If you play the blues, you're going to be fine on this. Just, you're the harmonica player." I said, "I am?" He said, "Yeah." So, and that was a wonderful introduction to what later I'd come to understand a little bit about, which was this wonderful period when a number of, blues playing folks would realize that they could make more money by banding together and playing a few things that were not blues, and that was sort of the start of that.
Yep. That was
John Hurt happened completely differently because I was often accompanying whoever was playing at the Gaslight Cafe.
Wow.
And in this case, it was Tom Paxton.
Yeah, sure.
And he was opening for John Hurt.
Wow.
And so I would play with Tom fairly regularly until one evening, John asked me if I would come up and play a few tunes at the end of his set. And so I tried not to faint, and I did that, and that was a point of departure, and it's still going on.
Amazing.
I speak to his grandchildren fairly frequently.
Wow. Yeah, it's beautiful. It stays with you. I also know that you and Jimmy Vivino were great buds, and I just had Jorma Kaukonen on my show 2 weeks ago, and you guys were took this beautiful picture together of a benefit that you did for Rich Pagano.
Isn't that a cool picture?
That is just such a great picture. I just
Yeah,
loved that.
Cindy Cash Dollar gave me the official seal of approval on that shot.
Yeah.
She said,
Yeah. No, that's just a really, really great picture. And I think you're going to be part of the Fab Faux Magical Mystery Camp also up at the Full Moon Resort at the end of June. And my God, John, I'm just getting the conversation going and I have to end it because it's 6:00 and the show is over. But
well, that's timely because my dogs are now going to begin to make a fuss because some of my dinner guests are arriving.
Oh, and you're having a dinner party, and you even took the time to just take time out for this. And boy, I tell you, just thank you, and thank you for all the music you've given so many of us, millions of people, and again, for just being such a wonderful human being. And Honky Tonk, man, let's get you back there in the Honky Tonk. When is that? This Friday or next Friday?
This Friday. Well, let's see now. Today, I guess it's next Friday.
April 5th. Okay, cool.
Yes,
yeah,
that's right.
Yes, April 5th, the Honky Tonk. John Sebastian. That's such a great...
Yeah, but I'm just so that I don't want people to get the misinterpretation here.
Right.
I'm the rhythm guitar player.
Yes. Yes.
That's what I do.
You're a guest. Band. You're a guest there, and they do their own thing, but it's just kind of cool to hear you up there and having fun. It's more fun watching you than anything with all these little young whippersnappers out there. And
I love it. There's such good playing whippersnappers, though.
They're the Hudson Valley Wrecking Crew. You know, Lee Falco and Will Bryant.
Sure,
and
that's a good way to put it.
That's what I always think. And Brandon Morrison and Connor. I mean, I've been watching them for 10, 15 years since they were teenagers. And it's just...
I just love it.
Yeah.
That me and Cindy Cash Dollar, we're always taking the mickey out of those guys just to keep them humble.
I love that. I love that. But yeah, that's always, I refer to them as the Hudson Valley Wrecking Crew because they can sit there with anybody and just play their heart out. And it's wonderful. And yeah. So again, another happy belated birthday to you, John Sebastian.
Well, thank you.
It's truly an honor to speak with you, and thank you for your time today and sharing of your memories and all the great music. I just loved starting off the show with like 6 of your tracks, and it was just a really great way to get into the conversation. So I hope to do it again sometime, and I hope to see you in person. Please give your beautiful wife my love and my regards. And
I will.
Yes, yeah, and enjoy.
Absolutely.